My name is Glen Henderson. I was in Vietnam 1967, 1968. China Beach, I don't know exact dates, but it probably was 1967. At China Beach, I was only there one day. At the time, I was stationed at Hill 34 in Da Nang, and they just took us there for a rest, to drink beer and to kick back and relax. So they took a group of us by truck to China Beach.
What about the surfing?
The surfing, had no idea that there was surfing available. I'm from Southern California. I surfed all through high school, and when we got there were some surfboards available. I don't recall how I obtained a surfboard, but was able to get one and catch some waves there. At the time, we were stationed at Hill 34 in Da Nang, and they took a group of us to China Beach just to get some relaxation and rest, and to drink beer and anything else that happens there. At the time, I didn't realize that there would even be surfboards there. We were going to drink beer. And so when we got there were surfboards, and I was able to obtain a surfboard, borrow it, or someone else was in the water. I was able to catch 3 or 4 waves, and it brought back memories of when I used to surf in California in high school. And so it was kind of an interesting situation being in Vietnam and actually catching waves and having surfboards. There were even lifeguards on the beach at China Beach, which is, if you think about it, is kind of amazing. That you're in Vietnam and there's lifeguards to protect you from drowning. So that's kind of bizarre. Yeah, when we went to China Beach, they took a group of us, probably 2 trucks, and they took, we all went there with, I don't remember whether, we probably purchased beer there, but it was just, there's picnic tables, we sat around the picnic tables, drank a lot of beer, and the guys that wanted to go out in the water, and then a few of us actually were able to surf, and so it was real special. Actually surf in the South China Sea during the Vietnam War. Now China Beach was a very secure area. It was an in-country R&R area, so I mean there was not combat at China Beach, so it was a very secure area. Oh yeah, the war definitely changed me. I was an 18-year-old kid, and I was out when I was had my 19th and 20th birthday over there. So I was out when I was 20, and yeah, I think it changed me. My name's Glen Henderson. Where do I currently live? I live in Huntington Beach, California. I didn't get the notice. I joined the Marine Corps out of high school, and so graduated in June. After summer, I enlisted the Marine Corps right out of high school, but I entered the Marine Corps probably October of the same year I graduated. So once I was in the Marine Corps, went through training, went directly to Vietnam. So I was in Vietnam 1967, 1968. I had my 19th and 20th birthday. Oh yes, I was a surfer before I went to Vietnam, and surfed a lot all through high school, and really enjoyed the sport, being on the water, and yeah, surfed a lot of local areas in California that you don't see anymore. My first duty, I was in artillery, and initially we were in Chu Lai. We were in Chu Lai, Da Nang, and Hoi An, and we rotate between the two. So what I would do, I would direct artillery fire, and some of my duties were down in a bunker, working up the data for the guns, and other times they used us to go out on, put us on top of mountains to watch for rocket flashes and then get an azimuth to direct fire back on them. So that's what I did. I wasn't aware of any other surfers while I was there. It's not something we really discussed. China Beach, just one day. I was only there at China Beach one day, and I forget what it was, a sergeant or whoever came in and said we're going to take a little break today. So we a couple trucks, a bunch of guys piled in the trucks. We ended up at China Beach. I had never been to China Beach before. So usually that type of situation is going to drink beer. And at the time I had absolutely no idea there were going to be surfboards. I didn't know there'd be surfboards. I didn't know there'd be a lifeguard. And to me, it blew me away that there was a lifeguard at Vietnam to protect people from drowning at China Beach. Very bizarre. Now, China Beach was a very secure area, so, but it was really neat to be able to catch the few waves that I was able to catch and do it in Vietnam. It was just an interesting to be able to surf, go out and surf in Vietnam, and since I had been a surfer in Southern California before I went in, it was just kind of a surreal situation. Well, so a lot of China Beach was beer drinking. So you go, you'd sit on picnic tables, drink beer, but then the surfboards were available. So being from Southern California to surfer, I'm going to take advantage of it. And I did. Yeah, the surf was not good the day I was there, but there were some waves, but marginal. But still able to ride a wave. But it was not great surf. What surf spot would China Beach remind me of? I'm thinking, geez, I don't know, Santa Monica on like a 1 to 2 foot day, blowing out. You know, for me, it wasn't a huge impact, and the reason I'm saying that is I felt I was very fortunate to be able to get out and surf, and with the board and stuff. But really, I don't know how much of an impact it had on me, other than it was just great to be able to do it. And for that moment, it was like being in Southern California again for, several hours. Today was a great experience getting together with other vets. I think anytime I get together with vets and acknowledging all the people that didn't survive, it's a very emotional experience. Not only the guys that didn't survive, but the guys that were wounded and had to deal with a lot of other issues in their life from injuries. And so I get emotional when I think about that, when I get together with the vets, and also if I go to the wall or something like that. And so quite often I'll start, shed tears. So. Well, the China Beach shack, I was talking to the gentleman that built the shack, and I have a picture of the shack that I took, and he said it was before they painted the side. So he knew, he told me about how he got the wood to build the place. And they took trucks out and kind of obtained wood. And then later how they painted the side. And so it was pretty interesting because I really had no idea how all this came together. So it was very interesting today to talk to people that were involved from the start and did the whole thing. There were several different people, 3 different people were involved from the start at China Beach. It was a definite escape. Just going to China Beach was an escape. And it was like a one day between drinking beer and just being at the beach and just, you're just away. And as I said, China Beach was a very secure area. You really didn't have to worry about much. So it was just a nice getaway. Well, they put a lot of effort into China Beach and the whole surfing culture there, and a lot of people had an opportunity to go there and take advantage of the work that they did. Grew up fast, had my 19th and 20th birthday there, and so I think I grew up, you see a lot, and so I grew fast, and saw a lot for a young person. And so I don't know how it molded me. I think there's good and bad. The good are the experiences, whether the experiences are good or bad, just the experiences, and seen a lot of places that I never would have seen. Um, so that's the good. I would really like to go back. I'd like to go back and see China Beach. And Vietnam is a beautiful country. I'd like to go back and see it. So.
Okay.